right, so for our last problem, we have 7/8 divided by 1/3. And just like our addition problem and our subtraction problem were very similar, we were asking ourselves the same question to get started, division and multiplication of the fractions is also very similar. If you don't understand what's happening when you're dividing fractions, I recommend watching both of the videos that are on the task card. The keep, change, flip wrap is pretty informative. If that still doesn't make sense to you, you can ask your teacher or you can watch some videos on Khan Academy. So I have this division problem 7/8 divided by 1/3, which means if I'm dividing something by thirds, it means I'm cutting it into 3 pieces. And so that kind of is where the keep, change, flip comes into place, meaning I keep my first fraction, which is 7/8. So I'm keeping that the same. I'm changing the symbol from division to multiplication. And then I'm going to flip the second fraction, because like I said, if I'm dividing 7/8 into thirds, that's the same as dividing it into 3 whole pieces. And so if I flip the fraction, that gives me 3/1. 3 divided by 1 is 3. All right, if I know how to multiply fractions, then I'm good to go. So just like we talked about in the last video with multiplying fractions, I do not need to find a common denominator. I'm just going to go ahead and multiply across. And I know that 7 times 3 is 21. And I know that 8 times 1 is 8. All right. And so just like with all the other problems, this is not the answer I'm looking for. And the reason for that is I have an improper fraction. An improper fraction means that my numerator is greater than my denominator. So I know that I can get something that's easier to look at, something that makes more sense. So I'm going to kind of make some room here. And I'm going to do that by just taking all this and making it a little bit smaller. It's going to look a little funny. All right, I'm going to bring my 21/8. I'm going to copy that and bring that down here. Okay. So to take an improper fraction and make it a mixed number, I need to figure out how many whole pieces come out of 21/8. So how many times does 8 go into 21? So I'm going to pull out, if I pull out just 8 pieces from 21, then all I will be left with is 13 pieces. Okay, so I know that if I just take one whole out, then I still have 13/8 to go. All right. So again, that doesn't look so good. My numerator is still greater than my denominator. So that means I can still pull out more pieces. So if I take out another group of 8, that would give me 2 whole groups of 8. And then 13 minus 8. I would have 5/8 left. All right, so that's one way to do it. You can pull out groups of 8 at one time. Or I can see that I know that 2 groups of 8 is 16. So I could do that right off the bat. So I could also say, all right, I know if I take 16 away from 21, I would have 2 whole groups of 8, and then I would have 5/8 remaining. So either way, however you want to look at it. And, oops, I don't even need to put the equals. I cannot do anything more. 5 and 8 do not have any other common factors other than 1. So 5/8 is as low as I can go. So my answer to this problem is 2 and 5/8.